Good morning and welcome to Distracted Thoughts. I'm Aaron here with my friend Dathan. Dathan, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah, doing good. Had a good week.
Yeah?
So it's changing of seasons, so
Yeah.
it's good. I'm enjoying the little cooler weather.
I noticed we're both rocking the hoodies.
I know. I like hoodie weather.
Yeah.
I like hoodie weather. They're comfortable.
I had that thought. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely the season change is coming because see, we're both rocking the hoodie today. I'm like, yep, tis the season, tis the season.
How about you?
Been a week. I don't want to say good or bad. It's been all paperwork stuff. I mean, family is good. Kids are driving me nuts. I know you've got a mix, older, younger, but our 20-year-old daughter moved back in with us so she could be a little bit closer to home or to work while she gets ready. We have like 3.5 acres. She wants to build the tiny house on it. Great. Okay. But she moved back in with us. And at 20, and my son James is nearly 18. Holy shit, man. They still can't get along. They're the best of friends sometimes. And I think will actually legitimately want to murder each other at times. I mean,
that's siblings, man.
I'm like, so it's good. It's
so what
nice.
you're telling me is they never grow out of it.
Did we? Maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
maybe. I'm not sure.
But yeah, so, and then we're just dealing with converting our construction loan to, on all the bullshit paperwork that goes with that kind of stuff. So that's why I said it's blah. That we don't need to talk about. It's been a week. It's been a week. But yeah, no, dude. Like, I mean, literally this morning, James has to be at school by. He's supposed to be there by like 6:30. He has a 0-hour college class. I think I told you, weightlifting and power walking.
Yeah.
But he has to be there by 6:30. Generally, he gets out of bed at 6, does what he has to do. Sophie, she works in Sandpoint, which is a half an hour away. She doesn't have to be there till 8, but she gets up at 5:45, spends 15-20 minutes getting ready, and then goes back to bed. Well, this morning, I don't get it. But this morning she didn't do that. And so James went and got in the bathroom. And at like 5 after 6, he's in there. She missed it. She's banging on the door, waking everybody in the house up, telling him to get out. No, you missed.
That's
Sorry.
Right.
And besides, you have an hour after he leaves to get ready. He leaves by 6:30.
Yeah.
You have an hour. Stop it.
Yep.
You're 20 flipping years old. I mean, come on. I don't know. It's something, man. It's something. And they're great, but
Sometimes they drive you crazy.
sometimes they do. Sometimes they absolutely do. So, yeah. So things are changing up for you a little bit.
Things are changing up for me. I have went back starting Monday. I will be back full time back in a career that I was in previously. Still have our small business, our airsoft stuff, but during the week, regular business hours, I will actually be. I'm back in a position for a company I was working for before.
Right.
So it's good. I like it. The business is taking a different direction. I really like the way the direction of the business is going. So I'm excited to be back in there. And me, I if I'm not busy, I create busyness. And sometimes it's not great. So so therefore it'll be nice to be able to not have to create busyness.
Well, the idle hands and all that, right?
Idle hands, man. They can be rough. I'm not going to lie. Many good things have come out of idle hands, but a lot of bad stuff have come out of idle hands too. So,
well, as I say, the curiosity that goes with it, it can definitely be one or the other.
Yeah.
So, Sue and I chatted a little bit before we got going, and I like last week. I think last week was a lot of fun. I want to kind of keep going in some kind of vein like that. So I had a pet question kind of pop up in my head. A little bit of history, but a little bit of speculation.
Okay.
So we're both men of a certain age. I'm a little bit more than you are, but not a whole lot. You just added a year recently. Thinking back to your youth and the man you are today,
Okay.
are there things that you don't do now that you wish you still did? Or are the things you do now that you'd wish you'd done in your youth?
Ooh, the second one's even harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was, one thing is when I was younger, late teenage, early 20s,
Mhm.
I was real big into customizing cars and building custom cars. And
Yeah.
I always had a shop it was like my personal shop that I would work in, and went to car shows all the time. I mean, I was always somewhere,
Okay.
I don't do that as much anymore. I still strive for it. I don't really work on cars at all anymore unless it's necessary. I haven't built something I wanted to build in a long time. But yeah, it just, as you get older, as you have a family, as you have kids, as you have responsibilities, you travel a lot less.
Right.
So the being in a new place, I'd probably say 8 months out of the year, every weekend or every other weekend, because it was a car show or an
Right.
event or something like that. I miss that,
Okay.
and I would, we try to do it, but, it's hard having four kids and, responsibilities. But I do miss that.
Okay.
As far as something I do now that I didn't do then, um,
Hmm.
I wish then I curbed my opinions a little less,
Okay.
like I do now, because
Okay.
I've grown in knowledge now, of course, as you get older.
Right.
And there was some times back then that I probably didn't create friendships because I had opinions,
Okay.
or didn't give people the time of day because I had opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little Mr. Know-It-All back then, and I didn't know Jack now. So I wish I'd have been a little more patient, a little more,
yeah.
a little more kinder, probably.
Yeah.
But
It's funny that I think that one. I'll steal that one right off the bat. I find now, so a little history, for me is to say I I sought knowledge so aggressively that I thought I was smarter than I am, and I realize now, no, not so much. I wish I same thing. I wish I understood things a little bit and was able to ask the questions that I ask now. Like I don't back then. I said I thought I knew. I thought I just knew, and I didn't ask questions. Now I ask questions all the time. Well, what about, or the what if, or those kind of questions to actually get to know somebody or find out more. Or did you think about this? To just get somebody's responses, man. I agree. I wish I had done that more. I wish that, especially because some of the places that I've been, I've traveled lots of different places in the world. And I wish I'd asked some of those questions. The thing that I wish I did now that I did when I was younger, I'm very much about challenging the things that make me afraid, that scare me, right? When I was younger, so I was a paratrooper in the military. I have 26 jumps under my belt. I wish I still did that kind of stuff. I wish I still jumped out of planes. I actually did some rock climbing when I was younger too. I actually have on my lower back, I actually have 3 scars that run parallel across my lower spine where I actually fell. I grabbed a mossy ledge. I was doing some free climbing. Genius, I'm 20 years old. I'm doing some free climbing and I grabbed a mossy ledge, and it gave, and down I went, and ended up, like I said, I have on my lower spine, just above my crack of my ass, I have 3 scars where I landed. Funny thing, my friends say, you've seen Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, right? Bumbles bounce. Well, so do I. And my buddies that I was with said, you came off, you hit the ground, you jumped up and ran straight back at the wall and started climbing again. And they're like, whoa, dude, you're covered with blood. And so, but that kind of, and I'm terrified, dude. I'm still to this day, I'm terrified of heights. You will not get me on the roof of a house. You won't.
That's hilarious, but you jump out of planes.
Right. So that idea of like, man, pushing that a little bit more. I don't do that. I don't do that like I used to.
Yeah, taking risks. I think as we get older, we quit taking risks.
Yeah.
I know, I was a street bike rider.
Yeah.
Like my first vehicle was a street bike. So, I mean, my mother forbid it.
Yeah.
She forbid me having.
Which is the fastest way to get somebody to do something.
Absolutely. She finally come around to, she didn't forbid me having one. She just didn't want to know about it. So I couldn't park it at the house. I couldn't park. So I bought a car, I bought a little Honda Accord, and I parked my motorcycle at my buddy's house about 2 miles away.
Yeah.
And I would leave in the mornings, park my car in his driveway, and pick up my bike and drive my bike to school, drive my bike everywhere. She didn't want to see it. She eventually came around, but that's something I wish I still did. I wish I rode bikes a lot. I love street bikes.
Yeah.
But, I had bikes, everything from crotch rockets to cruisers to enduros to everything, choppers. I had it all.
Yeah.
So my last bike, I had a cruiser bagger.
I don't know what.
So a bagger is one that's got bags on the side, like the big saddlebags on the side of it.
Right.
It's a cruiser. Handlebars are kind of up there a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's usually got a back seat for the passenger.
Okay.
It's a cruiser. It's a comfortable bike to ride.
All right.
So I had one of those.
See these terms, I don't know.
Yeah. And Addison was like 2 or 3.
Okay.
And I realized that at that point in time that I probably shouldn't have one, because I was a very cautious rider when I was by myself. But if I got with a group of people and somebody decided to do something stupid, I was going to show them up.
Oh,
if we were running 70 miles an hour down the interstate,
yeah.
and somebody decides they're going to put it on the back tire and do 100, guess who's going to be right behind them? I'm on the back tire doing 100 miles an hour, passing cars on the interstate. I mean, because I just would.
Yeah.
And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to get rid of it. And that was the last bike I had. And my daughter's 18 now. So I haven't had one for 16 years. And I still, every time I see one on the road, I'm like, oh, I want one. I want one. We went to a bike rally not a month or 2 ago down at Sandpoint. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I want a bike. I want a bike. So, it's one of those things I wish I still did. I wish I still kind of took the chances.
Yeah.
But when you have more to live for than just yourself, you quit taking as many chances.
Oh, that absolutely. Yeah. I was to say the family aspect of it changes everything. And I think it transforms into things that we've already, the business side of things, that kind of stuff that we've kind of already talked about. I think it transforms, but there's always that piece that wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, last year and a half ago, we got a Jeep and I love it. Megan enjoys it when we have the top off and we're cruising. But when I want to go hit a trail, she's not about it.
Yeah.
she's not about that, because I think it's that same kind of like, hey, I want to do, and I find, that different phases in life, like you said, mine, a 20-year-old and a near 18-year-old, James will be 18 Thanksgiving Day. Actually, he turns 18. It's just her and I. It's just her and I again. And so I want to do that
Yeah.
fun stuff. I want to do some of that a little bit crazier, get back into some of those things. This is sound really bad. Before I can't. Before I can't.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'll be 50 years old when James graduates. I'll be,
Yeah.
you know, I turn 50 and he graduates like 2 months later. Yeah, no, I want to still do it while I can, while I still have the ability, you know, to do that kind of stuff. You know, I was just thinking one of those, and I actually think it was after we chatted a little bit, but one of the things I actually wish that I did more intellectually that I stopped doing as a kid was playing some of the interactive games. You know, you and I both are both gamers. We
Yeah.
both love our video games. But one of the things that I think I missed out on socially that I wish I still played was like D&D. My grandma legitimately thought it was from the devil.
Yeah.
You know, and I can, you know, yeah, obviously some of the imagery can be pretty dark, but life is pretty dark sometimes.
Yeah.
I wish I still did that. I wish I still, because that was one of those places where incredibly creative. You could think things up. You had to think your way around different. And the better the dungeon master was, the better the lead was, the more creative you had to be to think your way around or through.
Well, I
problems.
heard there's possibility of a D&D dungeon starting up that's really close to your work that might be starting to get people together to play a big D&D game. But I don't know. I mean, if I hear more about it, I'll let you know.
I know. Well, so tempting, very, very tempting. Well, part of that too. So I did try one time in the last year and a half, 2 years, and I've told this before, but for our viewers out there, so I went to play D&D with some folks we know, the Workmans and Duartes and all them, and I sat down to play with them, and they invited me, but as I sat down, and my kids are there because they had never done it before and they wanted to play. As I'm sitting at the table with like 6, 7 people, I look around the table and the board across the face was, none of these people were alive the last time you played this game. None of these people existed.
Yeah.
The last time you played this game. And that was I want to do it, but I also want to play with people of my own age.
Yep.
Like, okay, some shared experiences. If I make comments or I make, you know, remarks, maybe they'll understand it, because if I'm playing with people that every one of them could have been my kid.
Yeah.
Every one of them. There was not, I think Christian is the oldest of the bunch. And I was 19 when he was born. So
Yep. Yeah, that I've never done D&D.
No?
Nope. I've never done like Magic's Gathering, D&D. I never got into I guess you call them role play games or adventure games that were like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just never did. It wasn't because I disliked them, it wasn't because anything. I just never got into it. Well, my wife's getting into it.
Okay.
She's done a one shot. She's done a couple one shots. Garrett is deeply into it.
Right.
And what we're going to try to do is we want to get into it, and so that when we start traveling, we can start our own campaign.
Okay.
And so that we can do it while we travel.
Okay.
And we can the family can have its own campaign.
Right.
Actually, Declan and Cole did a kids one shot over at the Workman's house one time.
Okay.
So it was they loved it. You know, I mean, it's got to be really short for them because they're attention span is. I mean, they're 6 and 5. So so that's so apparently I will probably within the next year be pretty deep into this. So it'll be interesting. I like creative mind thinking and I like that. So I'm interested in it.
So it was always the geek thing to do, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I think about the guys that that I did it with then. It was actually a pretty even split. We had a 6-man kind of a core group. You know, three of the guys were pretty nerdy,
Yeah.
for lack of a better. You know, they didn't generally do sports. They were not super athletic. Generally considered a little bit more intellectual. And then the other 3 of us were, I mean, Dean and I were guard and tackle on the football team, and my brother-in-law Donnie was tight end. You know, defensive end. We all did sports, so we were all pretty athletic. So we had a pretty fair mix of different personalities.
Yeah.
You know, I think I look at the guys that, how these guys all turned out. You talk about that,
Yeah.
how it feeds their creative mind. I look at all those guys. Jake is a teacher. Aaron Brown became he's a not a doctor, but the next below,
Yeah.
nurse practitioner.
Yep.
Casey's a structural engineer. Dean is Dean's an electrical engineer. Donnie went into he's retired from the Navy, and then, you know, I'm a head shrinker.
Yeah.
And so it kind of, I think it kind of fueled the intellectual drive in all of us to do something a little bit more, because, and again, love video games, man, love them. Not going to stop playing. Not going to stop playing them anytime soon. You know, but there is a difference when, man, it's not some creator somewhere, some programmer that determines the outcome of the game. It's a person right here in the room with me.
Yeah,
and we get to decide. And it truly is random. You know, you're rolling a 20-sided dice, and guess what? You suck.
Yeah.
You have the worst luck. Yeah. So that's actually one of the things that I miss. I don't know how to step back into it other than to just do it. It's funny you mentioned Magic. I was actually, I unpacked all the boxes. All my boxes in our house are unpacked. And guess what I found? I found a sports binder about yay thick, full of Magic cards. Second edition.
Wow.
Second edition came out in 1994. I've had those things for 30 some years.
You know, a second edition Black Lotus
Mm-hmm.
just sold at auction for $180,000.
Holy shit. I don't think I have one of those.
I'm
but-
just saying. A first edition sold for 300 and something thousand.
Yeah, that's the Black Label first edition.
Yep.
I didn't get in. Those came out in like 92.
Yeah.
Wasn't quite into it. Didn't quite have the money. Because I spent, dude, thousands of dollars in D&D books and Magic cards as a kid. And like I said, I still have some of those things. I still have decks that are made that I don't know how they would stand up against the kids' decks nowadays. You
Yeah,
know?
I'm sure it's progressed, you know, but
Yeah.
it's just funny that like like I have, you know, I have things that I run across from my childhood that I'm like, man,
Mhm.
that is coming back.
Yeah.
Like sports card collecting is actually making a comeback.
Really?
Yeah, like it's like Topps and Fleer are doing this huge campaign right now on their new sports cards that are coming back out that people are getting back into, and it's weird. It's like we've gotten to a point where we've got so much technology and so much information at our hands
Yeah.
that people are craving something physical again.
Yeah.
So it's like people are, you know, I'm sure you've seen this trend where this generation, the teenagers and the young 20s, I don't know what that generation is called. Is that Z, X?
Z, I think. Yeah,
I don't
Z,
know what
Gen
it is.
Z.
Gen Z has discovered that they can save money and get to have good conversations with people if they make their coffee at home and not go to the coffee. So there's these things. I know it sounds so stupid. It sounds like I'm making it up.
I know.
I saw a short video about it, and I was like, "This can't be real. This has to be a bit." So I look into it and know, like in places like like big towns like Seattle and places like that, and big cities. They're having these things where they all get up extra early, and they pick one person's house, and they'll go there, 3 or 4 of them, and they'll sit around, and that person that day will make the coffee for everybody. And they'll sit around a table and have conversation and not go out to Starbucks and get coffee. And I'm like, really? Next thing you're going to realize is you can make an entire pot and you don't have to make 1 cup at a time. It's like we're reverting completely. It's like, and these kids, because I'm calling them kids because they're kids.
They are kids.
These kids believe they invented it.
You have a daughter that's in that generation. Yes, they are kids.
They are kids. They believe they invented it. They believe that it's their idea. And I'm like, there ain't nothing new under the sun, you know.
I think that's the getting to this point in life and going, oh, I now understand what my parents meant. You know, I'm seeing things, like you said, I'm seeing things come back that, yeah, oh wow, I can just go to people's houses.
Do you know what the #1 selling Halloween costume is this year?
No.
Early 2000s apparel.
I've got a drawer full of that.
I'm like, shit, I can make a fortune. Girls with Ugg boots and jean skirts.
Yeah.
And they're dressing.
Oh,
they're
my
dressing
goodness.
in retro outfits is what they're calling it. Because I mean, that was 25 years ago. It was retro to them. And so late 90s, early 2000s is like the hot thing. If you get on Amazon right now and look at like best selling Halloween costumes, that's what pulls up. Wow. And it's like, that was like my high school yearbook.
Right. Oh, dude, you would, I wouldn't let anybody wear what I wore in my senior picture.
I don't even know what it.
Oh,
I can assume what I wore. I probably wore a Tommy Hilfiger 3-button polo with cargo shorts.
So
I'm assuming because that's what I wore back then.
So I grew up here in a. So you remember when the Western wear stuff was kind of in when you were younger?
Yeah,
I mean, like you were
like pearl buttons and pocketed flannels.
Not quite the pearl buttons, but so my senior picture is of me wearing a black, purple, orange, blue Western wear design.
Look like you ready to go ride
shirt.
do a rodeo.
I look at that shirt now, and because the problem is it's displayed at the high school. The high school has all of their senior pictures on a wall all the way back to the 40s and 50s. They have a big. It's probably as big as this in like big foldouts, and they'll have like.
You can like flip through.
You can flip through it. Okay, so it's a big thing. You can flip through it, and some of our friends found mine and proceeded to decide they wanted to blackmail. I know how ugly that shirt is. I know, but it was the fashion at the time. It was the thing at the time, and God help us all. There are some things that should never
Actually,
come back.
What? Now thinking back, my senior photo, I had on a tux because we did senior photos. Everybody senior did formal wear.
Okay.
But prior to that, I'm sure, I actually found my senior yearbook online.
Yeah.
Because they've uploaded old yearbooks now online and made them digital. Actually, Addison found it. She's a good online sleuther. But she found it, and it had our spirit week always had a day you did everything. So one day was like twin day, and one day was like I don't know, clown day or something weird, or
Yeah.
So
I have one of those too.
2 spirit days, and then we had contests within the school. So 2 of those spirit days I placed in the contest, top 3. And so my picture's still in there. And she's like, "There's no way that's you." I was like, "Yep, that's me." I was like, "That is me." That is before I had a beard, and I had blonde tipped spiked hair.
Wow.
2000, man.
Yeah.
It was I had my hair was about that long, and the top half of it was bleached blonde tipped.
Yeah. My hair, that's one of the things. My hair's always been about the same. It hasn't changed a whole lot. If you look It was a little bit longer on top. I would let it grow a little bit longer on top, but it was about the same. Yeah, we had those kind of weeks too, Dathan. I mean, I guess my senior picture is not the worst picture if you're going in that kind of stuff. There's a picture of me in a pink wedding gown.
I was just fixing to say, did you dress in drag?
I did.
I don't know that it was called drag back then. I think it was just whatever. But
yeah, no, there's a photo of me in a pink wedding gown.
Does that live somewhere besides your house?
No.
I gotta find this.
No.
This can be our new thumbnail for our podcast.
No. I'm not an attractive man, but I'm an ugly woman. I consider myself an average-looking man, but I'm not a pretty woman by any stretch of the imagination.
That is great. Well, I did. So during Spirit Week, they did powder puff football.
Yeah.
So the cheerleaders and the girls played football.
Yeah.
And then the guys were the cheerleading squad.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just, they were act goofy.
Yeah.
Well, we also had a dance team at our school, like a dance squad that would do like basketball games and football games.
Yeah.
So the dance team wanted to play football too.
Right.
So it was the cheerleaders versus the dance team.
Yeah.
So they needed 6 guys to do the dance team. So I was one of those.
Yeah.
We killed it so hard at the school for Spirit Week that we got invited to do 2 other local events outside of school. One was like the FSU Get Down, which is like where the college puts on this big block party before their homecoming game.
Yeah.
We got invited to do that, and then another one. But we actually performed 3 times as that team, and I was like, I did not, and all of us were sports guys. Like every single one of us, we're all on the baseball team or football team or something,
Right.
So every single one of us was like, I cannot believe we're doing this, but whatever. It was high school, and it was senior, and we were like, we only live once. So
well, that's the whole. I mean, you think back at that kind of stuff, and like, doing things? Would I do that now? Not a chance. Not a chance. Right. But I did it then. You did it then because. Why not? It's the adventure. It's the adventure. It's, I mean.
And it's fun to laugh about now.
It is. It is. I actually, so talking to my kids about that, hey, we did some of these crazy things, and my kids pretty mild compared to the things that, like the stuff we're talking about, right? Pretty mild. But also I didn't have to, if there's a picture of it, it's because I knew the picture was being taken.
Yeah, nowadays, everything's documented.
Right. Yeah.
Even when you don't want it to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will say that this generation of teenagers,
mm-hmm.
I don't know how better to put this, they're boring.
Yeah.
Compared to what,
and
I'm not saying what we did was right, but
it wasn't boring.
It wasn't boring by no stretch of the imagination. And I seen something the other day that says, it was a guy our age talking. He's like, I wouldn't invite my kids to my party I throw. And because it's fun, like they don't go out and party. I mean, every now and then there's a few of them do, but they don't really go out. They don't party anymore.
No.
You don't hardly ever hear about a teenager sneaking out anymore.
No, not really.
Alcohol consumption is less than it has ever been in the history.
Yeah.
There was more alcohol consumed during Prohibition than there is now. Because we have a good buddy that works, for Anheuser-Busch.
Oh, yeah.
And he was telling me that the alcohol sales are plummeting.
Yeah.
But the seltzers and the bubblies and the energy drinks have skyrocketed. He's like, so kids are pounding these things, but they're not out drinking all the time.
That's
and like
crazy.
Teenagers and stuff.
Yeah.
And it even used to be a huge thing on college campuses where they had an entire department that focused on keeping kids from getting drunk all the time.
Yeah.
That's not even the case anymore because they don't have drinking problems in college anymore. Which blows my mind because like every Friday and Saturday night, there was a keg party somewhere. I mean, close to campus.
Yeah.
I mean, where I was at FSU.
Right.
So
Yeah.
literally at the time that I was there was the
Well-
largest, they were the largest party college in the nation.
I was to say, Florida State for a long time was that one. Arizona took over for a
Yep.
while, but I mean, it was.
I lived a block from campus.
Yeah.
So like campus property where all the dorms and all that stuff are stopped.
Yeah.
We were a block from that. We could see the stadium and everything. But the street we lived on, literally Friday night, you decide you want to go to a party, y'all just left your house and you walked down that street until you found a party and just walked in. You didn't have to know them or nothing.
Yeah.
Like just how it was. There was house parties everywhere, you know? That's not the case anymore. That doesn't even happen in college towns anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I said the craziness of it is exactly that. I'm like, what? You know, I'm a big one. I both love and hate X, right? I find it wildly entertaining and incredibly stupid, some of the things. But I've run across some little blurbs like that will say, what happened? You know, our generation was go out there, do something, you know, and they were more concerned about reining us back in, about doing dumb stuff. And I'll be honest, you know, like I said, for my kids, I'm like, you guys are here on a Saturday night?
Yeah.
What are you,
I'm
what
like
are
trying
you-
to kick
what-
my kids out of
what-
the house.
What
I'm
are you
like,
doing?
Go do something.
Right. Go hang out with friends. Go.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm not gonna. You know.
And Garrett he's 14 now.
Yeah.
And he's gotten where once a week he does his D&D.
Yeah.
They actually just finished a campaign that they were in for 18 months or something like that. So they
Yeah.
just finished a campaign. So he's not doing it right now. So they're going to be starting another one. But he has airsoft,
Yeah.
and all of his buddies go down to airsoft
Yeah.
3 nights a week, and he's down there, you
Yeah.
know. But besides that, I mean, he doesn't really go out and do anything. And it's not because I've told him, oh, you can't go do nothing. He just doesn't want to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
Addison was never that way. She didn't ever want to go anywhere.
Right.
Like, and she's a people person.
Yeah.
And like, she would go, like, if a friend was like, hey, let's go down to Sandpoint, go shopping. Cool. But Friday night, Saturday night, no, she never was like, hey, we're going to go out here and hang out or go. No,
Yeah.
she never did that. So,
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think, but that's again that idea of generational. Yeah, these are things we used to do. Yes, part of me wishes I don't want to do it again.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to go back there. But in my kids, I was like, how do you relate?
What I wonder sometimes is when they get our age,
Yeah.
what are they going to tell stories about?
I agree. I mean,
Like, we have stories to tell. Like, we
Right.
could probably sit here and spend over an hour telling wild, crazy, funny stories from our teenage years.
oh,
Easily.
dude,
easily, without even trying.
Yeah, I got some stories that I mean.
But what are our kids going to say?
Oh, I know.
What are they
I
going to
know.
sit around and, I mean,
Yeah, I went to my high school reunion, and I've told one story, and at some point, we'll share the story, but not today. That's for another day. But I shared a story, and actually, my brother-in-law and I shared this story. But my wife had heard it, my kids had heard it. You know, they're like, and they take it as it's a story. It's a story. My high school reunion, another one of my buddies that was involved in this story now tells the same story from his point of view, and my wife was like, she's legitimately is like, I didn't believe half of it until he told the story and tells the same story. It's like, you guys are, and she's like, you guys are stupid.
yeah. Well, and that's even like senior pranks. Like,
Oh yeah.
do they even still do them anymore?
I don't think so.
Like, that was a
all
big
planned.
deal.
They're all planned. If they do a senior prank or they do
Like, the
you know,
school knows about it.
Yeah, the school knows. It's
See, that's the weird. Like, ours was planned.
yeah,
Like, a lot of planning went into our senior pranks.
right,
None of the school facility knew about it.
right,
Like, my senior year, we rented a crane
yeah,
and we picked up every dumpster and trash can and put it on top of the 2-story library. And we also picked up the gym teacher's car that he left overnight and put it on top of the library.
that's great.
So Monday morning come around
Yeah,
and there's a pyramid of blue, because they're all painted blue and they're 55-gallon drums, pyramid of blue trash cans, probably 20 cans high. So that means there's 20 on the bottom.
Yeah.
3 dumpsters and a car on top of the 2-story library with a big banner that says seniors. And nobody got expelled for it.
Right.
It took them a week to get another crane out there to get it moved down. And what's funny is the place we got the crane from. The place we got the crane from was one of the seniors.
Yeah.
His dad owned a company,
Yeah.
and we just took the crane.
Yeah.
And they hired that company to bring it back out and do it again. So his dad was the one that got paid to come remove everything after we put it up there.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, nobody. There was only one time that anybody ever got for a senior prank that I can remember. They couldn't walk. They still were allowed to graduate, but they wasn't allowed to walk.
Yeah.
And a group of guys and girls bought 200 mice, feeder mice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they spray painted them. Our colors were silver and blue. They spray painted them silver and blue. And our school, the teachers had windows by their desk that would pop out for vintage.
Yeah.
So they went around the school that night, and any teacher had left their window cracked open, didn't close it, they would dump mice into those windows. So 200 mice got let go inside of the school. And that was I was probably a freshman when that happened. I wasn't part of that one, but they caught 2 or 3 of the guys, and they let them graduate, but they didn't let them walk.
Yeah.
Because they had a rat infestation, a mice infestation.
After that.
Oh, that was fun.
That would be something, that's for sure. Well, I think you're right. The stories, okay? And even the ability to think back and answer the question, what would you do? What would you do now that you didn't do then?
Yeah.
Or what would you do then that you don't do now? If you don't have the stories to tell, what are you going to remember? What do you, I mean, I don't believe in the term, I hate the idea of saying somebody peaked in high school, but man, it's supposed to be fun. So Sophie finished early. She finished her sophomore year, and James he's not even in school right now. I mean, like this morning, went to one class. Then he goes to work from 8:30 till 3. He does on Fridays, he does his 2 online classes. He does a week's worth of work in a day.
Yeah.
And he plays football. And it's boring. I your daughter's husband, Gabe.
Mm-hmm.
Love the guy. Dude, I think he's older than I am. I mean, yeah,
he's got an old soul for sure.
Nobody
would ever have a conversation with him and think that he was 18.
No way.
Never.
No way. I'm like, well, like
it's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing. I wonder, when they have kids, if 1 or 2 or however many kids they have, but if a couple of those kids end up more like you and Alexis, or end up more like what Chris was like when he was younger. Because if you've ever talked to Chris about the things that he did in his youth, the man was actually pretty wild.
Yeah.
And I look at Gabe and Addison, and Gabe being that old soul, and I'm like, dude, you're more like grandpa than you are like.
It just hit me. I believe that the main reason that teenagers nowadays, don't experience a lot of things outside of house or doing things like we did is because we had to seek out experiences.
Yeah.
We had to seek out being entertained.
That's true.
They don't have to anymore.
No,
they have everything at their fingertips. They can this is what they call entertainment now, their phone.
Right.
So you talking about that with Gabe, he doesn't have social media.
No.
He's not on his phone all the time.
No.
So, but it is sometimes looks like he's skipped the teenage years of,
it really is.
But
and I love the kid. And he is a kid. I love he's the same age as my son.
Yeah. I really think that, they're talking about moving June of next year.
Okay, good.
And so they're waiting on him to get accepted. They should know any week. I mean, he'll get accepted. So,
yeah.
They're planning on moving like in June. And I think when that happens, they'll be able to get out of the small town that he's always been in. And I think they'll actually find themselves.
Good.
Which I really hope so. I mean, they're doing great now. I just had lunch with her a couple days ago and we were talking about it. They're doing great now. But so I was going to ask you, and I had something in mind and I lost it, but
okay, make it up as you go.
I am. What did you do? What are some things you did or ways you acted when you were younger that you have now that you don't do now, and that you have really no interest in doing? Like what has changed you?
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And I had a really good example of what I'd done, but we got to talking. This was like 20 minutes ago, and I completely forgot what I was going to say. So,
the ways that I used to act, or things that I used to do that I don't do anymore.
And I had one, and I really wish I could give you an example now, but dadgummit.
Yeah.
Distracted thoughts.
It just ran away.
Yeah, it's like a pinball machine.
Well, I think I kind of. So I think I was much more aggressive in the way I did things. Like I said, I did sales for a long time, and so I was really kind of an asshole. Pushy.
Yeah.
And it was kind of my way or the highway.
Oh.
And I think I lost out on a lot of opportunities because of that. Because yeah, I didn't see the value. If you didn't do what I liked, I didn't see value in it. I didn't see value necessarily in you, and I know that's not the case. I want to know. I want to know different things. One of I really struggled as a young person with the religious aspect of things. I used to study all different types of stuff. I mean, in Buddhism, witchcraft, all those things. I used to study them more for just to understand, and I think I've lost a little bit of that. It's like I only have a limited amount of time, and so I don't look at things that are outside of this circle as much as I used to. There's the circle has shrunk. The circle has gotten so big, and so I don't look outside of it like I used to.
It's so funny because I'm the total opposite.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I was very, just tell me what I needed to be doing and I'll do it.
Oh no.
And so I didn't care to do research on anything else.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't directly affect me at that moment, I didn't really care about it.
Yeah.
That's very self-centered-ish, but
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah.
And I have just recently been like, I've never studied or understood why someone would think this way or why someone would think that way or why someone would follow this or follow that. So just here recently, I've actually been kind of like diving into more just to be like, what piques people for this? Why? Just because you run into those people in your life.
Right.
And if you can't a little bit relate to where they're coming from,
Right.
how can you, for me being a big people person, how am I going to have a conversation with them?
Yeah.
And so it's I've kind of been the opposite. I've always had this little tight, this is what I want to know. And now it's like, oh, wait, there's a whole nother circle out here. Let me look at this and see what, I'm an adult. I can choose to look at this and I can choose to look at that. I can choose to look at this. I don't have to be restricted, because I did grow up in a house where, not that it was a bad thing, but my father taught me that this is your circle.
Yeah.
He didn't contain me and put me in a box, but he did say that this is where we live. This is what we do. And my dad was what affects you day to day person.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was a blue collar.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he poured concrete. So the weather affected his day every single day.
Yeah.
You know, so it was one of those things that just from being around him, what's going on today going to affect you today? You know?
Yeah.
And so I became this person who it was tight circled.
Yeah.
You know?
So I think that, I think the opposite of that came from me. So I come from a broken home. You know, my father wasn't in, my mom and my father, they did get married, wasn't great, got divorced. As a whole, that's a whole nother story. But one of the things, up until the time he completely evaporated from my life, he was the one that taught me to ask questions, because he didn't act like other people. He didn't act like the expectation, which is part of the reason why he got into drugs and kind of went off his own way doing things. But that was one of the things that and especially because the rest of my family was very regimented in the way that they thought. And I had some challenges with that of like, you don't know, you know. So I basically in my head said, well, screw you guys, I'm going to find out. And so it created that desire to, like I said, push up against the boundaries. That's why, you know, again, I say the things that I'm afraid of. Dude, I don't love spiders, but I'll let a spider crawl over my hand. You know, I've have pictures of a tarantula crawling up and down my arm at my brother-in-law's wedding in Texas. I don't love them, but I'm not going to let it rule. I'm not going to let that. But I don't do that as much anymore. It's that, and I think some of it's starting to come back as some other pieces are settling in. But the desire to understand, the desire to know more and not be. I love living in a small town, but I don't ever want to be small town. You know?
Yep.
I enjoy the peace that can be found here, but I don't ever want to be.
You don't want to be small-minded.
Yeah.
Because a lot of small town is small-minded.
Right.
You know? Yeah, I hear it.
Yeah. So I think that's the biggest one, because most of the things, because I was relatively adventurous, there's not much, you know, that I didn't do. And I had a best friend who my famous last words were, I bet you won't. Watch me. Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Yes. What's funny is I didn't have that friend in high school.
Yeah.
I didn't find that friend until I was like mid-20s.
Yeah.
He's still one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He lives in Texas now. Thank goodness we don't live beside each other. But some of the craziest things I ever did was like early 20s, mid-20s, because he was foot down, pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
We'll deal with whatever comes out of this.
Right.
And so it was fun.
Yeah. Talk about sharing stories and memories. Yeah, mine was in high school. It was the guy that, and a whole nother topic, we're running short on time, but kids don't fight anymore either.
No.
Right? My best friend, the guy that's been my lifelong friend, and obviously friends change, but the guy that's been my friend the longest is a guy that we used to beat the shit out of each other when we were, I mean, it was because we're about the same physical nature.
Yeah.
We're about the same size. He's a little bit taller, but I'm a little bit heavier. We used to beat the shit out of each other. And that has been my longest friendship. I mean, we've been friends for 36 years.
Wow.
36 years we've been friends. He's the guy that, you know, because we had something to prove to each other, I would bet you won't. And we would. And so having that, you're right, I don't hear those stories. I don't hear those things. The regret, not regret, you know, in all of it. So But, sir, we're there.
We are
We're
there.
I've got things to do. So, Dathan, final thoughts, man. What do you got on your mind?
Don't be afraid to create the story.
Yeah.
I believe that everybody needs a story. Everybody's got to have a story to tell eventually. Don't, I'm not saying go out there and do the stupidest things in the world, but have a story to tell. Have something that you can tell somebody and sit around with your buddies and laugh about.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, then bring them back. Talking about things we used to do that we don't, things that we do now that we wish we'd done. Talking about it. I mean, the world we live in was created in a story. Whether you believe in it or don't believe in it, the stories are the things that carry on. I mean,
yeah,
the stories are the things that we tell that
Yep.
actually carry in all the lessons, right? So you're right. Create the story and do something with it.
Yep.
And share it. Don't keep it to yourself.
yeah. Share the story.
Yeah. So with that, another day done. So thank you for being with us. This has been Distracted Thoughts. We look forward to seeing you all next time. Have a wonderful day.